him unhooked, get him weighed. What a thought. Look at that, right in the lip. Absolute beauty. Perfectly hooked. Out he pops. What a beauty, people. Look at the size of that. On the drop shot. Awesome, let's get it weighed quickly. £7.13. What a beauty, my biggest pike on the drop shot. Totally awesome. Absolutely awesome on the DROPSHOT Diaries. Quality little fight. Let's get him back. Come on! Well, we have a classic slack water here. River's coming fast, really, down the middle. And it's shooting round this bend. Very snaggy down there. But just down here, there's actually loads of slack water. I can see the bubbles. You might not be able to see, but the bubbles are going that way. There's some water flowing. A good way to look at it is the foam and the bubbles and leaves. Obviously it's winter now, so the leaves aren't on the floor. But you do get little bits of kind of bubbles really, where the fast water just stirs things up a bit. So you can watch the bubbles on the surface. And they're actually going that way around here. So there's definitely some slack water there. Now I hooked that pike just off the slack water on the inside of the bend up there. I was stood over there. And it absolutely slammed into that little Roach DS, the little drop shot Roach DS. It absolutely slammed it. I've gone for white to start with, purely because the water is slightly tinged. It's very low, but it is quite coloured, and I've always favoured white really in coloured water. So I'm going to stick with the white, and I'm going to have a little cast around here on the edge of this tree line, under these overhanging trees here, because that's classic perch territory as well. And just generally really on this area of slack water. Usually slack water tends to be on the inside of the bend, but for some reason there's some kind of slack water around here, and it gets quite shallow there. You can see the bottom. Well, here I was mentioning about the bubbles. You see this bubble here, it's kind of going sideways really, and then some of them are going back up that way as well. You can see that one going back up that way. The faster water's over here. You see these bubbles here flowing faster. So I know that that's pretty pacey water. I probably wouldn't, I'd cast my lure in there, but then I'd slowly raise it up and down until I get into the slack water here, and hopefully that's where I'd get a take. Let's give it a go. Big fish. Another fine pike, just hooked in the jaws. Unbelievable fish. Another totally awesome drop shot pike. Unbelievable fish. Can't believe this. That little FishAction Roach DS. It's just nailing the pike, and I'm on the 10-pound fluorocarbon, which is really important. Strong fluorocarbon, 20-pound braid, purely because I can land these fish. I'm on a size 1 drop shot hook as well. That is totally awesome, people. 6 pound 4. Amazing. One last look at the cameras. Well, you can see there's a parasite on the top there. Shows they're really lethargic. What an awesome fish. I'm going to get him back now and get that lure straight back out before lunch. Well, got my soup on the go, having a bit of a lunch break now. Fired up the stove, got a bit of chicken soup going. Can't really beat a bit of chicken soup on a cold winter's day. Well, I've had 2 pike. Actually, the first pike was £7.13. Really chuffed with that pike. It's my PB pike on the drop shot, and it was a really impressive take. Thankfully, I got it on my chest cam. That's why I take the chest cam, because what you're looking at me with now is a DSLR camera, and it's quite hard to get the focus right when you're fighting a fish at the same time. So that's why I wear that chest mount, really, to try and capture all those action moments. And thankfully, I think I got it. We'll check when we get home. But I was really chuffed with that. And I had another pike as well, actually. £6, I think it was £6.4. Again, put up an awesome fight. I'm not coming here to target pike, I'm targeting perch, but these things happen, and you do hook pike when you're drop shot fishing. I do use 10-pound fluorocarbon leader, and I've not lost a pike yet on it. I don't target pike, obviously, but I've not lost a pike yet on it. And I think what happens, I've had them all hooked in the scissors, and I think what happens is, as you're jiggling that lure up and down, they snap at it, and it just slides through. It's very abrasion resistant fluorocarbon. I think it slides through gaps in their teeth, and then it just hooks them in the scissors. And then they've got quite tough jaws, so tough skin around their jaws, so I think they hook quite well. I unhooked them, released them absolutely fine, but really chuffed with those fish. It's better than blanking, and they put up an awesome scrap on that really light rod. I've been trying to search out the perch, I think because the pike are in the swims. They're just putting the perch off, to be honest. So I've moved on swims a few times, moved further upstream. Obviously I've stopped for lunch now, I'm going to have a break and just take it all in, really. It's a lovely, I'm on a free stretch, actually. I'm fishing a free stretch at the moment, and there's obviously dog walkers and everything that go by, but it's a really stunning setting, and I can hear all the birds in the trees, and it's just really pretty and peaceful, and it's so nice to be able to come out just on a short session. I'm only on a Saturday here. Just come out on a short session. I'll probably pack up about 3 o'clock before it gets dark. It's just nice to come out, really, and make the most of those hours. And I guess with drop shot fishing, you're mobile. You don't tend to get too cold because you're not sitting there in a swim. You'll have 6 to 8 casts in each swim, and then you move on to the next swim. So you're constantly moving, which I really like about that sort of fishing. So
you know, I thought I'd kind of create this series really. I've only kind of got into drop shot fishing recently. I'm not saying I'm a pro or expert at all, but I've only really got into it, and I find it really addictive, purely because you can get a number of species really on the method, and you just cover lots of ground. It's kind of brought this whole new dimension to fishing, and I think it's kind of really exploding now in the UK. We tend to be the last with these trends that come in, and it's the same with LRF really. We're kind of one of the last that gets onto it, but now they both kind of go hand in hand really, LRF and drop shot fishing. Both kind of lightweight, light tackle, small lures, just really good fun, moving again, roving around. So I think that's why I'm kind of into both really. But I've kind of reached the end of the free stretch now. That's why I've had some lunch. Gonna have some lunch. I've got obviously my chicken soup and a ham sandwich that I'm gonna have. Keep my electrolytes up, keep my energy, and then I'm probably gonna work my way back downstream really. And same swims, because pike and perch tend to stay in the same swims. Hopefully I won't get those pike again. But you know, I won't complain if I do. But it'd be nice to try, and I'm trying to search out for those perch really. But it's a great river for numbers of fish, and I'm just happy catching, to be honest. And I hope you guys, you know, enjoy the series. I hope to be getting out. This series isn't just going to stay with freshwater. I will be doing some saltwater drop shot fishing as well. I want to try some reservoirs and some lakes, maybe a few commercial fisheries as well. So I just came up with this idea, Drop Shot Diaries. It's basically just following me on my journey really, on different rivers around the UK, trying to target different species. I just thought I'd take this opportunity really to, sorry there's flies around the screen, thought I'd take this opportunity to thank all of you who subscribe to TAFishing. Myself and my dad Graeme, we never really imagined it would get this big. You know, we only set up about 3 years ago, and just us with a small little camcorder really, and now we've kind of exploded into well, one of the top fishing YouTube channels in the world. So it's incredibly humbling, all the amazing feedback you give us. It really does mean a lot. Just commenting on the videos and letting us know your opinions and things like that, it's really great. So thanks for all of you guys. We are on Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well, TAFishing. Facebook's Totally Awesome Fishing, and we're on Instagram now as well. Totally, I think we're TAFishing_show, and I'm on Facebook, my personal Facebook, Mike Pullen Fishing. So feel free to add me, and you know, if you just want to chat about things as well. We've also got another YouTube channel. Obviously we brought Totally Awesome Fishing is kind of flowing really well now. We brought out another YouTube channel called Totally Awesome Outdoors, where I hope to be doing kind of more stuff like this really, getting out in the outdoors. And I think it's getting a bit of a lost art really, just going out there and exploring and getting to know the woods and the surroundings and nature. It's quite sad really, because I'm a school teacher. I teach PE and geography, and I see so many kids talking about Xbox and, you know, PS4 and iPads and everything like this, but they go outside in the woods and they don't really know much about their surroundings, and it's quite sad really. So I hope to be kind of setting that channel up really to try and get those kids outdoors and just help us rediscover our roots really. So pop on over to, there's a link in the video description to TA Outdoors. Maybe subscribe, watch a few videos, let us know what you think, or just give us some suggestions really. Again, suggestions for Drop Shot Diaries. If you guys want me to try any particular venues or any particular lures or techniques, or you know, things like that, just comment in the box below the video really, and just let me know. Right, that's enough yabbering for me. I think I've got to put a new battery in the chest cam, because I kind of used quite a few batteries with that. Put a new battery in the chest cam, tackle up again, get all sorted, pack away, wash all this. Well, I'm going to have my soup actually, then I'll wash it, and then hopefully straight back on the river. Okay, I thought I'd just have a little stop and just show you kind of what lures have been doing the damage today. I keep this little waist belt, sort of waist baggage, bit of baggage really, that goes around your waist. It's got 2 zips at the top here, 2 sort of big pockets, one for my lure box. The other one I put some gloves, my scales, disgorger and scissors in. It's got a neat little front pocket there where I put my kind of rig winder and my spare fluorocarbon, and then it's got a handy little drinks holder there. But it's just convenient to have it all on your waist around the front so that I can just access it whenever I need to. I always, when I'm at home, I have a huge array of lures at home, but I put a certain amount of lures that I'm going to fish with on the day in a small box. I like it to be nice and small because, again, this can fit in one of my jacket pockets as well if I didn't want to bring the bag. I've got about 8, 9, maybe 10 lures actually in here, different colours, different sizes, different shapes, different swim actions, all soft plastics because that's how I fish with the drop shot, soft plastics. But for me today, I actually lost one of the lures that was doing really well, which got me the 2 pike, which was the Roach 3DS. Well, yeah, Roach DS in the 3-inch from FishAction. I also, when I was catching the perch, I switched over to the Attractor Shad DS in FishAction, which I've had really good success on. I really like this lure as a drop shot lure because the first bit's really solid, so when it's on the hook, this tail bit can move about and it looks really realistic, like an injured fish, and it's great. So much action. This water's slightly coloured today, and for me white has been working really well. I was on the Roach DS was on white, and this is Attractor Shad DS is also on white as well, so I've done really well. I do bring a different colours with me when it's a bit clearer. I'd use that, again Attractor Shad, but that sort of colour when it's a bit clearer. It's got some glitter in it as well, which has really good sort of, even in low light conditions, this colour is really good. I've also caught on a kind of dull brown colour. I've done quite well with a dull brown colour. And I take a few fish like imitating lures as well, so the Berkley kind of minnows are really, again, good for clear water. They've got that red tail to them, which is, they say that red's kind of the last colour that you see the deeper you go, so that's why a lot of lures tend to have red tails to them or orange tails to them. But again, this has a bit of foil inside, reflects, it looks exactly like a minnow, and it moves like an injured minnow as well. So I've got that one, the kind of drop shot version, and I've got the shad version as well, which is kind of like a swim bait. It's much better action, but to be honest, on the drop shot I prefer the drop shot action with the loose tail at the end, because I feel it moves, if I want to move really slowly the lure, it moves up and down really well. Whereas with these ones with the shad, this is a bigger minnow, this is Nomura minnow. Again, nice loose tail section there, which is really good because it's got a big paddle on it, which means it will swim really well. But I find on the drop shot you have to move these a bit quicker in order to get action out of them, because they need to pull through the water a bit faster to get that tail paddling. Whereas when I want to twitch it really slowly, I find the paddle tails don't do as well when you're going really slow. I like to sort of use the ones that have that tail to them, that no matter how slow you're moving it in the water, it can still jiggle up and down. So yeah, that's the kind of lures I've got in my box at the moment. People say about gloves, some people are adamant that they have to wear gloves in winter, and some people just cannot wear gloves at all. I've just got a set of, I quite like the colour of these. I like this kind of dark wood camo stuff. These are neoprene, so they're like that wetsuit material. They can get a bit cold, they're not amazing, they're quite cheap, but they do have the handy bit of, they can be fully covered, or they've got some velcro there where you can pull back your index finger and pull back your thumb and velcro it back, and these are your 2 main fingers, and well, finger and thumb, that you use to tie your knots with, and just use these most of the time for tying things with. So it's quite a handy option to have when it does get really cold. I have used these a bit today, but it's warmed up a bit now that we're kind of getting later on into the afternoon, so I don't really wear them as much. Personally, I find casting with them a bit difficult, just holding the line, I like feeling the sensitivity of the line as I cast. whereas these, you don't feel the line at all really against it because it's braid. I just don't really feel it against the gloves. So again, for some it might be a necessity, for others maybe not. But if you find you're getting cold hands, maybe get a pair of those ones, these ones that, you know, have those finger loops that you get, and a small set of scales as well. I just have a small set of digital scales. Again, these fit in that pocket really easily. The gear I'm using, I'm just using it's actually a C rod. I broke it last weekend. I broke the tip, and my dad actually helped. He cut off kind of 3 inches off the tip. This was the tip section here. It snapped. He cut off down to the next ring, and to be honest, it's not. I prefer it because it's now got a bit more strength. It was a bit too much tip action, and it was only a matter of time really before it did snap. So now it's got a bit more strength. I can set the hook easier when I'm striking into a fish. So I do prefer it now actually, and it really helps with the power when I had those pike. But this rod's a ultralight kind of casting weight really. It's 1 to 8 grams. So any lead over 8 grams, I wouldn't be casting with probably. I mean, you can drop it down, but casting out far, I would not use a lead over 8 grams. It's 7 foot, probably a bit shorter now that those 3 inches have been taken off, but I really like it. It's done me well, to be honest, caught me loads of fish. Reel, this is just kind of a lower range Shimano ST 2,500 bait runner reel. It's got a little bait runner there. I don't really need to use the bait runner when drop shot fishing, but it's there, it's an option. And I've got 20 pound mainline braid on there. Some people, sometimes you can use yellow. I use yellow sometimes when I'm sea fishing, yellow braid. Personally, I think it's up to personal preference. There's no really set, you know, braid colour that you have to use. Some use pink, some use yellow. To be honest, I think it's just an image thing. I do have a yellow spool, but at the moment I'm just fishing with this kind of olive green and it's doing me fine. The fluorocarbon I use is just this 10 pound fluorocarbon, which is 4.5 kilo kind of breaking strain, I guess. It's sort of subtle, it's not too stiff as far as a fluorocarbon goes, but 10 pounds ideally is perfect for me, especially for pike and perch, well, perch fishing. When you hook a pike, it can still handle a pike, as you've seen in the video. So basically that's my setup you've seen. Hopefully I'm going to set off back out now, try a few different swims. I might even try a different stretch of the river altogether. I'm really limited on light at the moment, so I've not got much time left, but hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get a fish. Unfortunately, I didn't get many fish, well, many more perch on there the other day, so I've had to resort now, because I'm back at work teaching, to a couple of evening sessions. So I've just finished work, just refereed a rugby match. I've only got really about an hour's worth of light left, if that. So I'm back in the swim where I had the pike before. Clarity looks okay, river's still pushing a bit, it's very low, but I've just seen a few fry jump, so we could be in for bit of luck. Sometimes it's the best time to fish, hour before dusk and an hour at dawn as well, so let's see if we can get some. Well, it's not going to set the world alight, but first perch in the kind of, not weir pool really, but just a natural fast bit of flow created for slack water. Changed lures now. I'm on the Attractor Shad DS. I tend to favour this one in the evenings, this kind of violet-y sort of purple with blue glitters flecks in it. But they're on the bite, that's the main thing. change colour again, back to white. There's some dogs fighting over there, but I don't mind. Bit of evening perching. Fine little dorsal there on the white Roach DS again. Let's get him back. Still got about probably 20 minutes of light left. Let's get it out before those dogs get it. Just a little tip, when you're fishing a slope like this, I've got quite a steep slope going down here with shingle. If I step there, I'm going to be straight on my arse. So try and find a tree or a bit of cover like this I've got here, and I can plant my foot against that, and that's going to stop me slipping down the bank, getting a wet foot or falling on my arse. So I've now got space to my right here to cast out. I'm losing light. I'm still only on about 15 minutes of light left, I'd say. Everything today's been really slow hopping on the bottom. Just I've lowered the drop shot rig so that it's right down, just a couple of inches off the bottom now, and I've had a few perch, about 4. Got to keep moving though in winter. Keep changing swims. Well, it's 5:15 now. I'm really tight on time. Probably got 5 minutes, I'd say, left, because it tends to get near this time, it really does get dark quite quickly. I've had 4 perch, so I haven't blanked, but I've got to keep coming really for these evening sessions, early morning sessions. That's really the sort of bite time for the predators. So going to have probably 5 more casts in some of my favourite swims. Really slow retrieves. I've got a very small drop on my lure and the lead. As you can see, the lure is almost touching the lead there, but it's just because I think the fish are down deep. So we'll give it a go. You know, forecast, we've got big low coming in this weekend. We've got big batch of rain, which is likely to colour up the river. So we've got to make the most of these sessions in the evening. I'll give it 5 more minutes, I'd say, and then I'll pack up and get some dinner. Probably my #1 drop shot lure has to be the Attractor Shad DS 3-inch from FishAction. This is a great lure. It's my go-to lure when drop shotting. It's got a really nice strong nose section to it and a very supple tail section that allows for lots of movement. I like fishing this on the spot or on a very slow retrieve. Again, another lure from FishAction that I've done well with is the Roach DS 3-inch. This is the one I caught those 2 pike on that you saw earlier in the video, and this lure tends to imitate a small fish, and this is probably the lure I would use more when I've cast out a bit further and I'm retrieving from distance. It's got more of a swim action to it with that tail, but again you can see that lovely supple tail that's really inviting to those fish. Another lure that I've done well on recently is the Berkley Powerbait drop shot minnow. I like to fish this one on the spot and usually pretty slow to try and imitate a dead or dying minnow. The lures come in a variety of different colours. You can go from bright fluorescent colours to almost see-through. I like to use a mixture of both depending on the conditions. You can also get lures with a bit of sparkle inside, and these can be great for when fishing is really tough and you're trying to get that extra bite. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Drop Shot Diaries. Obviously it's the first episode that I've done. It was really good fun making that video, you know, to have those 2 pike like I did and a few of those perch. Unfortunately I can't get out there daily and try and catch the big fish all the time because I am restricted with my time being a teacher. Anyway, if you've got any suggestions for me, maybe you want me to try a different lure, or maybe a different type of retrieve, maybe even a different location, please comment in the box below the video and give me your feedback. I'd be really appreciative of that. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope to get out there filming episode 2 really soon. Cheers.